Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We are the Nat 30s, and we are continuing with our Wicked Independent Prestige Incorporated game over here on the compound. I'm going to go through some of our announcements. Hey, Bearded Fortress, nice to see you. I would say hey to Cheese Cat, but Cheese Cat is part of the Nat 30s, and so
Hi.
is there on stream with us. Which I guess I will make that one of our first announcements, is that Cheese Cat has officially joined the Nat 30s crew, our first remote Nat 30s member. So
Is there like a paperwork? Is there a certificate that we like send out?
I sent a care package of all of the things, so that arrived, but unfortunately, no, I have not created one of those. But yes, when the Nat 30s was born in the shower, while I was trying to decide what hobby I was going to have during the pandemic, I only ever asked that the players just show up. That was because I can't have a game with no players. And lo and behold, Cheese Cat showed up. So, thank you, Cat, for all of the things you've created and coming up with games in our chat and everything like that. So, I am happy that you have joined us officially.
Yes, here.
Thanks for allowing me to be a dork over here.
All right, so announcements. I did some revamping of our Discord. We have our Patreon. You can enter. Actually, they start at tiers $1 through $10 per month. Any tier that you're on will get you an automatic entry into our monthly giveaway, so you can kind of set it and forget it. Even the $1 tier, tell your friends. And the giveaway I actually received from Almost Critical. So we have Almost Critical dice that we get, and unfortunately my thing is very small down here, but new tin design. And if you are a patron, you will have seen that I did this lens. I hope it worked. But I did these lens videos that probably are gone by now because I think they only last 24 hours. But these dice,
It's just, it's not even, it's almost not worth holding it up to the camera because
I
it just
know.
does not do it justice. Like the picture that we posted and then the high quality pictures that she sent us, like it's like,
Nothing
oh,
like
it looks really good. And then when you look at it in person, it's like, oh my fucking god.
Yes, they are unreal. I hopefully we get to play on Sunday, so I'll be able to show the Massachusetts-based Nat 30s, but these dice, they're called Fey Forest. They are color changing, which doesn't really like kind of show up in the pictures that we took. They look like they're gold. They look like there's little flowers inlaid into them, but it's actually that they're like this gold that shifts to a green, and the purple flowers are actually little like foil pieces that it's
like gold and purple like flakes in it, but like it changes the color just by moving it slightly in the light.
Unreal. They are absolutely beautiful. Enter as many times as you would like throughout the month using our channel points here on the compound. Engaging in chat, you can get some Discord level ups, and those go towards your chances to win. And also, the Patreon. Yes, the Patreon. Oh, also, I did add, for those of you who don't want to do a Patreon, I didn't really announce it, but I did create an option for you to be a server patron instead. So you can be a server patron on our Discord. It only has one tier at $5 a month, but it gets you all of the things that the $5 a month tier on the Patreon gets you. So, including an automatic entry. Also, the winner of the dice gets, they did a new style for the dice tray. It's like airbrushed and it looks awesome. It's like super sharp looking and just fantastic. So you get this along with the dice. Other announcements, I will be playing or DMing on Saturday at Captain Con. So any local folks out there who are joining us, Captain Con in Westport, Rhode Island on Saturday. At 9:30 in the morning, I'm going to be moderating a panel about creators and whatnot with 3 or 4 other creators. I have to look at the lineup and see who confirmed. That's at 9:30 in the morning, and then at 11 I will be running Weeby Goblins it was going to be 4 players, but then somebody reached out and asked if I could squeeze them in, so it's going to be 5 players, and that'll be going for about 4 hours. So if you want to come by, hang out, we're going to have tabletop games there. Lead Brush Liquor or the Brush Republic is going to be there, and perhaps even the compound themselves will be there filming stuff and all of that. So that should be a lot of fun. Merch.
We got merch. There was a sale this past week, but it is done now. But there will be another sale on the TeePublic next Wednesday to Sunday. So I mean, not the Wednesday after tomorrow will be the next 4-day sale. So if you're gonna buy some merch, do it then. There is 1 or 2 new shirts in the pipeline. I actually have my design software is up right now, and I have a logo that a design that I was working on in progress that I had to pause to work on other things, but I'll try to have that up there by next week. Now, as with most of our designs, it's inappropriate and it should be fun.
Did you make the one with Arik and Erdnot and chef hats yet, making a stew?
No. All I'm picturing is Cookie Monster and Gonger.
And
we get some more whippy artwork out there. No, we got Elsa. I want some Elsa merch.
I do. I need to draw her up.
Also, I forgot to mention our wonderful, beautiful, fabulous sponsors, BD&D. They are continuing to sponsor us. You can enter today. Those of you who are newbies, which I don't know how many of them really are out there, you will type !ticket to enter into the giveaway today, and you can enter to win a design from our sponsors, BD&D. It can either go on a shirt or on a mug, and if you join the mug club by getting a mug, then we are doing this really fun thing where you can boost us on social media, BD&D and the Nat30s, #mug club with a picture of your mug, and you will be entered to win a little something special for your mug. So feel free to enter those. I know I got to check in with Shay. I know she was waiting for her mug, and I was going to let her enter anyway. We are going to be doing 2 drawings on the 15th of February for our first 2 winners, and you get something special. It goes to your house. Put it in your mug.
Cuba, whenever we do the that photo thing that we wanted to do, me all dressed up, we got to bring the mug.
Yeah.
Got to bring in that 30s mug.
Definitely showcase the mugs.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
Don't forget about the Mug Club recipes that are on Patreon for free. This month's looks really interesting. The Dwarven dark chocolate double stout, or whatever that is. It's a complicated Dwarven chocolate stout recipe that you mix with warm milk and fresh chocolate shavings and sugar and other yumminess. So yeah, go check that out too. Oh, and it has ice cream in it.
Oh wow.
So it's like a Fagaggio or whatever it's called.
And these were all submitted by the Nat30s. I think you gave me that one. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. I made them all. I made them all, and I don't remember what they are. So thank you for that reminder. I did put a link to our Patreon where those recipes are actually public, so you can go check them out. And I should boost that too. Like, hey, check out this free recipe, and while you're at it, $1 a month. Okay. So if there is nothing else, then I will transition us with our intro, which is really short.
Adventuring we shall go.
All right, here we go.
Not 'cause I
last
would
night.
not kill that man.
Well,
He'd just
Cuba, I
be
said
sitting
you.
there.
True. This is some good shit. Yeah.
We're back.
Spooky.
You're good to go.
Right. I don't have a name for this, so I'm just gonna say we as Whippy, since we've been doing Whippy, I just been picking random one-shot adventures to do, and it has been strung along as an anthology type thing, and continuing that, but this isn't based on anything, so I completely have made up this roadmap in my head and am piecing it together as I go. So, let's see how this goes. I call this The Voyage, Chapter 1. After spending the weekend in Wereguard at the famous beer market celebration, Whippy found a new friend and new official member of the adventuring group, Elsa the Minotaur. Also, after many years of searching, Garry has finally come across information regarding his sister, I can never say this, Landendrosa.
Langdedrosa.
Langdedrosa. If the information was given by the If the information given by the beer merchant at the festival is to be believed, she is part of some cult. They call themselves either the Wearers of the Purple or the Cult of Dragons. And she was last seen in Baldur's Gate 2 months prior. It's not much to go off of, but at least it's something. Unfortunately, with winter setting in, getting to Baldur's Gate on foot will be long and difficult, potentially even impossible, considering all the snowstorms that could block the road south. Heeding the advice that was given to them, that voyage by sea might be their best bet, the group discussed it the morning after the festival and decided that they will stick together and help Garry find the answers that he has been looking for so long. So the party has set out to the Crown of the North, Waterdeep. After an uneventful 2-day journey to the city, the group arrived at the jewel, the Crown of the North, and you have entered the city, and you are entering the dock ward in hopes of securing passage south. So that's where you guys are right now. You are in Waterdeep. You have been here before, several times through the years, and you passed Waterdeep heading up north on your way here in the fall. So you are fairly familiar with parts of Waterdeep, but probably not so much the dock ward. But you are in the dock ward now, and there has been like there's like a gonna say like a layer of snow, but this is a city, so it's not really snow. It's just like slushy brown grossness in the road. This is not the nicest part of the city, but it is bustling. It is very busy. There are shops, there's inns, there's taverns, there's warehouses, there's shipbuilders. So it is a bustling, very busy port, and I'll leave you guys to pick it up and do what you would like to do.
First, I'll ask real quick. Was there anything of last session that I had missed? Was there any battles or anything like that? Did I take damage?
We just played drinking games.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
Okay.
got
Edmund
crashed.
brought you back to the inn. He gave you some sort of meat and a bucket of water, and you were sent to your room to sleep it off.
I thought it was gonna be like Mr. Gibbs from Pirates of the Caribbean, where I'm just passed out with the pigs, and you guys, Uma just comes in with a giant bucket of water, and just throws it on me.
What smell?
All right. And we're at the dock ward, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
So I mean, I can, and if you need a look at it, I can like share a map of it in the Discord. But it's not like it's just like one street. It's a very large section of the city. It's the part of the city that faces the Waterdeep harbor, and like I said, it's where all shipping comes through, boat making, warehouses for goods and storage, and again, inns, brothels, taverns, all these
It's-
things going on here.
It's where the Bums of Greenus did the ice race across the waters and then went to go drink at the beer golem. So
I have no idea who they are.
I don't either. But they sound like pretty fun people.
I think so. I've never met them either. I just heard stories.
They have pretty good branding then.
We can take some
Weird.
notes.
There was these weird flyers with this bald guy on them. I don't know who this bald bearded guy is, but they want a lot of gold for him.
Oh.
Well, what
I-
does it say?
I think it says claimed.
Oh, that's stupid.
Boo. Boo.
Oh, well.
I didn't say that
Maybe
only
we
because I didn't know the
should,
time frame of like when this is.
It's gonna say the big invisible voice in the sky is going to whisper, "That hasn't happened yet."
I have no idea when this is taking place, so.
Yeah, it's.
No, you
That's
don't.
fine.
But not
Mm.
at that point.
Oh, okay.
All right, we won't meta game.
Well,
Uh.
the Cyrath is still alive.
Hopefully. Are there any shops nearby or anything like that?
There's so much. There's this
Yeah, Waterdeep
You
is
know,
huge.
yeah.
I meant
We-
by where we are.
What kind of shop are you looking for?
Just general supplies.
Yeah,
Hey.
and you can.
Maybe we should come up with a plan of what we're gonna do.
We gotta get to Baldur's Gate, right? That's our plan.
It's supposed to go by sea, I think.
Hmm.
I think I remember that.
But first step would be to find a ship that'll take us there. I
Does
would
anyone
assume.
know how much that costs?
Yeah, I was about to ask. Do we have enough money? Hmm.
Well, we'd have to find out how much it costs first. Is there
That-
anyone nearby, like a
Cat's
dock?
been keeping track of your earnings, right?
Not
No,
Varo.
I thought
Not
Varo.
Varo.
Pat.
Nope. Pat
He
is
was,
Varo in this
I'm pretty
game.
sure you're fairly flush with gold, especially after the goblins thing.
I
don't
know
think I have
Varo.
761 gold.
Varo has 1,000 gold.
Okay.
I've got about 650 or something.
I don't know where you're all keeping that. You don't have a bag of holding, but you know.
Deep
That's not-
pockets.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
It's only
Um,
one pound per 50 coin.
Yeah, there you go.
That's,
Um,
I thought that was the rule.
Yeah, I got 306 gold.
All right.
That
So I
was all
think
from my original character sheet.
I feel like we all have enough. I think we have enough. I mean, how much could it really be?
And we can
it's
work.
not like we're going all the way across the whole world, right? We're just
I
going
mean,
down
I feel
coast.
I feel like this would be like a pretty common, route Waterdeep to Baldur's Gate. I mean, I know both those cities, so
Mhm.
if I know them, I think just about everybody knows those two cities. So if I know them, there's got to be like a ferry that goes back and forth. I mean, how long could it possibly take?
I think it's a few days. So I'm like from just outside Baldur's Gate, and I've only come here once or twice, but actually not by sea. But it takes about 2 weeks on foot, so I think it's probably maybe half that or less on a boat. So,
So
I mean, maybe
is
there's a
it-
dock
is this-
master.
this boat, is it just gonna be us four?
Uh,
Probably
do you-
not.
I don't know how to drive a boat. Do you know how to drive
Okay,
a boat,
'cause-
Garry?
I don't.
I'm
I've been in a canoe, but I've never been in a boat with those. What do you call those things?
A sail? A
yes.
nest? Oh.
Yeah, either one.
I think Garry
I
might
try-
know.
My tribe's from the desert. So nope. I've never
Well-
seen the ocean. I've never
What
seen
about
so
you?
much-
What about
I've
you,
never-
Elsa? Do you know anything about boats?
Just know about like stuff that has wheels because it helps out when you're farming.
Yeah, so maybe us taking a boat and trying on our own. That's an option we'll strike right out of the gate.
Like if we can't afford to get on the boat.
I think maybe we're best walking. In that case, I mean, I appreciate your faith in us, but we would probably die. Just being
Like your-
super honest.
We like your enthusiasm, Varo. He just like taps Varo on the shoulder with a giant hand.
All right. I guess that makes more sense. Leave it up to the professionals.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about?
Yes.
Can
Who
I
has
see-
the crying baby?
Oh, this dock is riddled with
Sorry.
them.
Actually,
Dudes.
you do. There are crying babies. Like they're, there's some, could be possibly homeless looking people, or some dock workers that have their kids with them because they just have nowhere else to throw them.
Oh,
A lot of child labor against OSHA regulations.
Well, I think maybe our best bet is to find a dock master, harbor master, or do you want to go shopping first? Or, you know what, they might not be able to take us right away, so maybe we find the harbor master, chat with them, and then go shopping.
I think you're right.
I like it.
It's a great plan, and if we can, we need to find someone that makes card stocks in a hurry.
Hmm.
We're gonna be in the same group of people for a little while, like 2 weeks. Be a great time to get the name Whippy out there.
I bet we would find that either in the trade ward or in the sea ward. The sea ward is where there's a lot more rich people with like rich stores, because that's kind of like a novelty item. So all right, I'm gonna take a look I'm gonna look to see if I can find anybody who resembles what I think a harbor master would look like.
You would probably have to go further into the ward. Like, you're on the outskirts of the ward now, so to find a harbor master, I don't know what that was. Find a harbor master, you'd have to go down more towards the docks.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right. So you guys just walk through, and like I said, it's very busy, very very bustling. It's mid morning, late morning, and it's just hardy people doing hardy work, and drunks abound as well. So you get to the docks, and you look for somebody who looks like they're in charge, which is kind of hard because now where you are, and it's a busy port, there are several people that look like they're in charge, but you'd have to start asking, I guess, are you the dock master? Are you the dock master?
Well,
To every
Uma's gonna start asking, is there a harbor master's cabin around here? Or dock master's? Where's the office? Hello?
Hey, you looking for the harbor master?
Yeah, the dock master's office.
I think George is on
kinda
duty today. You go up the street, and there's a wooden tower. He'd be able to help you out.
What was that, Elsa? They can't hear us because we're down here.
Oh, I just trying to tell them that we need tickets. We need to get on a ship.
Tickets.
Mm-hmm.
This is no tourist ride. Tickets.
I didn't say that. We need passage.
Well, passage to where, lass?
Bald Guy's Gate.
Old Guy's Gate.
Baldur's.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
Aye, aye,
Baldur's Gate. We call it Bald Guy's Gate for fun.
Are you sure it's not Ball Guy's Gate?
Ball guy?
Are you sure?
Are we saying bald or ball?
Ball gag? Ball gag gate?
Ball gag's gate?
This is getting weird.
How much have ye had to drink this morning? Lot of rum?
Nothing
Not
today.
Oh, either way, best of luck. I don't think you're gonna find anyone heading that far south with the winters kicking in. But what do I know? I'm just a lonely sailor man. And he
Oh.
walks away.
If I had known he was just a lonely sailor man, I wouldn't have even asked him. You should have said that up front. You should have said it right away. He said
What
something
about
about
Truth in
George.
advertising.
You should have a card like Varo said.
Lonely sailor. That's all it would say.
So, so he said to go up the road and find the wooden tower.
And somebody named George, I think.
I believe so.
Alright.
Let's go.
Alright, so you go, you follow his directions, and there are
like
several
that. Just
several two-story
Just
buildings, but you do see one that looks like it's built to really overlook much of at least this section of the harbor. So you go up to that door, and there is a wooden sign. It's very like the paint has just kind of been worn off, but it's it was handmade, so like it's engraved, and it does just say like Harbor Master Office. Very weathered sign.
There it is. I knew it. Is it closed? Is the door closed?
The door is closed.
Okay.
Uh,
Maybe somebody bigger knocks on the
Is it
door.
Raxus is gonna just like pow 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 on the door.
Like the FBI is rating.
He doesn't mean to. He's just big. To him, that's a regular knock, but it's probably not all that big of a door. So, yeah.
After a moment, do you only knock the one time, or?
Well, three, like pow pow pow.
Okay. So after a moment, you hear footsteps, clearly descending stairs, and then the door knob cranks, turns, and the door opens, and it's like a average sized guy. He's probably in his 40s or 50s. He's got mostly gray hair, like a big bushy beard, and he's wearing like waterproof like overalls, like those like the crab fisherman. He goes, looks up at you, goes, "Yes."
We require passage to Baldur's Gate.
Good for you.
Is
Sir.
there any ship?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh shit. Do you know of any ship that can help us?
I mean, I have ships departing and arriving hourly. I mean, I don't have all their itineraries at the moment. I mean, would you say Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate, bald guy's gate. Yeah, Grax is. He's gonna like look at everybody else like confused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with Bald Guy's Gate. Baldur's Gate. Oof, that's you might be a month too late for that. Not many ships are going that far south. It's usually too treacherous this time of year. Let's see. Might be going to Baldur's Gate. He like turns his back and walks in to the room. Doesn't invite you in. Just walks over to his to a desk that he has over there. And you just kind of see him. He starts like rummaging through some papers, and just kind of muttering to himself for a few minutes, and like an awkwardly long time goes by before he says anything, and you say anything, unless you say anything.
Uma's gonna turn to the group and be like, I don't want to assume the worst, because that's not in my nature. But either he's really bad at his job, or he needs some help. I think maybe he needs some resources, like staffing, since it is literally his job to know all of the itineraries of every ship that is coming in and out of the harbor. I don't know if I would be overstepping, though, if I suggested to him to reach out to his boss and ask for staffing. Is that just me thinking? I mean, I'm not a business owner.
I think after we find out, that would be a great suggestion to help him for the future, but people don't like to be interrupted when they're pretending to be busy.
You're right, you're right.
Wait, I thought this guy was a harbor master.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he's supposed to be, a master, and he is clearly.
How like, you're a master. You're supposed to have mastered your craft. Like, how does he not know?
Oh,
Like,
if we
what-
say it
what-
now, he
what
might
is
not
his
help
job?
us.
What is his
Yeah,
job?
you're right, Elsa.
What does he do?
He might just
I-
be.
Here we go.
I
All
know.
right.
Oh,
You might be in luck as he picks this scroll up and he just looks at it. And he goes, "Yeah, he might be crazy enough to actually do it. Actually, all right." He walks back over to you. I heard every goddamn word you said, by the way. Okay, so I think I might be able to help you. Look for Hassan. Hassian,
Hanson?
I think is actually how you say it. Captain Hassian.
Hanson?
No, not Hanson. It's Hassian Jackanade.
Decade.
Hanson Jackanate. Gotcha.
well, sir.
Yep. He's usually him or his sister, or a lot of the crew. They like what's the place over there? The Blue Mermaid. They like you might find them at the Blue Mermaid. I know that his ship is in here now. So
Do
if
you know
anyone's
the
crazy enough to head to Baldur's Gate in the wintertime, it'd be him.
Do you know the name of his ship, Harbor Master?
Let me see here. Goes back through the to the paper. He goes, Noita Rossi. Yes,
I'm
I am
just-
purposely butchering all these things. He's white man speaking these foreign
Royce.
languages.
Thank you very much for your aid in this endeavor.
And,
Yeah, no problem. All right, I'm busy.
You're actually just gonna like lean down before he goes. He's gonna. And by the way, I think you're doing a great job. And just like come back up.
He just gives a little nod, then like literally just kind of shoos you out and shuts the door behind you. He's just like,
He needs staff.
you. Thank you, Harbor Proficient.
Harbor getting there.
Harbor guy.
Do you guys want to go down?
Harbor middle
Excuse me.
manager.
Harbor almost. Did you guys want to go find the Blue Mermaid, or do you want to go look for the ship?
I thought we were looking for a captain.
We're looking for a captain who could be one of two places.
I'm
Place
sorry,
called the-
I really wasn't paying attention to what the guy said.
You usually aren't, Varo. It's okay.
You want to go check
You can-
out and see what the ship looks like? Because maybe if it's really scary looking, like it looks like it has holes in it, we just won't even bother.
Braxis,
I don't
his
wanna
face is
drown.
gonna like, his face is gonna fall when you say that. Like, oh, I really need to go.
No, I mean
It's
we'll
like a
go.
pout-
We'll
Like a
still
pouty
go.
puppy.
We just maybe maybe we will walk there.
He'll
Let's
perk up
go
a
Okay,
little
if
bit.
if you're gonna start like walking the docks looking for this particular
Yeah.
ship out of the
For a little bit,
you know
anyway.
Yeah.
many ships that are here, why don't you roll on perception? No, that's roll on investigation.
Who?
Whoever's looking for the ship.
Grax is definitely going to be looking.
You want to do it with
You said-
advantage, or do you want rolls from everybody?
I want each of you to roll.
Okay. Yay. That was you said investigation?
Yep.
That was a 6 from Garaxus. Which makes sense because he's from a desert. He doesn't know what ships are like. He thinks all the ships look fantastic. Even the ones with holes. He doesn't know any better.
Oh,
Elsa
mine-
got an 11.
I got a 15.
Well, Varo wasn't paying attention. He got a 7.
All right, so you guys are walking up and down. No, not up and down. You're just kind of like walking. The dock ward is huge, and there are tons of ships of various sizes here. Sailing ships, long ships. You see a couple of military-looking ships, but none of you are very familiar with sailing vessels. Like, half of the time you aren't even sure where the name is on the vessel, if it even has a name. So unfortunately, your initial scan doesn't turn up the ship.
All right, Garry. I think we're going to go drink some more.
Well,
Well,
is not he's not super excited to drink himself.
I mean,
Last time.
it's been 2 days.
It doesn't matter.
2 days.
He drank enough to enough for him to pass out on the table like that.
We're old now.
Yeah. Well,
What was the name of the place again?
harbor-
Blue Mermaid?
the harbor master harbor proficient did mention the Blue Mermaid.
Okay.
So maybe we can. Is there any like dock? God, my words don't want to work. Any dock workers that are like right nearby us?
I think I
Yeah.
actually know where that is.
Oh, lead the way, please.
All right.
Grax is
Gonna-
gonna make sure he doesn't lose her in the crowd since she's so small.
All right, everybody,
Yeah,
this way.
Yeah, it is definitely busier here. There's this because you are actually in the way of some people, like bringing cargo on board and disembarking cargo, and ships that need repairs and stuff, because you kind of like got real close to the docks as you're looking for the name of the ship and everything.
Oh, I love the idea of everybody else being so small that like when dock workers are like bringing like crates, they're just like going over the heads, and then like they see Grax, they're like, oh god damn it, like trying to go around them, but they just go over everybody else because you're also small.
He's
So small. SMOL.
Yeah, it's
Small.
it doesn't take too long for you to find the Blue Mermaid. It's actually a very small place. It's like kind of like nestled between two taller buildings. And you come in and it's fairly quiet. It's not super busy, but you definitely notice that it's actually a very nice for the dock ward tavern. It's very clean. Like most you would expect a place where sailors drink would be really gross, but this is actually a pretty clean and tidy, almost boring in character because it is so nondescript. Yeah, and you walk in, and like I said, there's a handful of patrons in there, and it's quiet. They're not rowdy. You hear some people talking amongst themselves. They'll laugh here and there. And behind the the bar there is a Tiefling Barmaid, and you notice this kind of odd because for the most part, Tieflings are pretty like in shape, but she is a very curvious Tiefling. Like she is thick with two C's.
Nice.
And she
That bum though.
she's wearing a what is it, a bodice, so the oversized cleavage is just spilling out, and like all of her clothes are two sizes too small for her. And she's like a very deep blue, like yeah, that like midnight blue type of blue, and she has purple eyes, like no pupils that you can see. Is just like a deep like bright purple eyes, and she has like curly like silver hair with like a slight blue tinge to it, and depending on how the light touches it. And she's got like goat-like horns that jut out from the top of her head. And she look as you come into the door, she smiles. She goes, "Oh, good day, come on in." Ooh, that shouldn't have gone with that accent, but it's good now.
Too late.
All I can think about is how Lauren S. Avedon would react to all that, because she'd be over there like on her side of the table, like, yeah, that's right.
I'm jumping into that bodice.
Yeah,
right.
we're getting lost in those boobies.
I'm gonna look down at.
Don't look like sailors. What you doing in these dock wards?
We're looking for a captain.
Cool. Plenty of captains here, I can tell you that. What you drinking? Ale or wine?
Ale.
Ale.
Nothing.
Gracious isn't drinking a goddamn thing.
Wine and ale. She two copper each. She slides the drinks at your direction, then leans on the bar top and smiles as she just does that cleaning of the cup. So, Captain, eh?
Right.
Fancy change in profession?
We're looking to book passage to Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate in the winter time? That's a good one.
The harbor master told us to look for a captain. I wrote it down, but now I can't remember how you said it.
Hassian Jackenroth.
Hassian
Hanson.
Jackanoff. Jackalope.
Egghead.
I know Hassine.
Jackery.
Captain Hassine, maybe.
Hassine, the
Hassine
captain of.
Jackanoff.
So you have seen him.
Well, no, I haven't seen him, but
He
he
just
does come
You
here
just
when he's
said
in
you have
port.
seen him.
I know of him. I haven't seen him. Not today.
She doesn't get it, Varo. That was a good one, though.
Nice.
What?
What?
I know him. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're. I missed the joke.
I think I missed the joke.
Uma's
Grax
just
looks
gonna
confused too.
like smile to herself.
She's too smart for this group. She's too smart and too sweet. He's the captain of the Rosie.
Hey.
Rosie. Well, if it is Hassine, then it's right. I know. He does frequent here. I don't know if he's here right now. Oh, this is turning Australian.
I thought it was Australian to begin with.
I thought it was
Oh,
too.
it was Northern English Cockney, whatever you call it.
I don't think
No,
it was.
that was definitely Australian the whole way. That was. Just roll with it. It
Roll
was
with
Australian. You said good day.
Yeah,
You said
right.
good day, mate.
Good
Come
day.
on in. Good day, mate.
That's not strictly Australian. But now it is. Now we're going to stick with Australian. But instead of what? Sorry, Ian, if you're watching. I can't do a lot of your accents. Like, doesn't London alone have like 7 different accents depending on which part of the city you're in? Anyways, just why don't you sit tight, have some drinks? I know he frequents here, and you know, other members of his crew. They definitely prefer it. We're quiet here, and I think they like quiet. You know, they're not overly. I mean, some of them, those troublemakers. Woo. But yeah, I say sit tight, and you might be in luck.
How do you keep it so clean in here? You have enough staff?
Yeah, it's just me and a couple others when we get really busy. But yeah, when you're not doing anything, you're just cleaning.
You just keep out the riffraff?
Yeah, the riffraff find us boring. I'm fine with that.
You're much more efficient than the harbor master.
Oh, which one?
George.
George.
Oh, George, that miserable prick.
He did seem like a miserable prick, but
it might be because he's understaffed, and that's really a lot of pressure.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know what he does in that tower, but you know, it's just George.
He's
Anybody
not
with the name
mastering
George.
harboring, that's for sure.
Nope.
Well, I'm gonna take care of some other
horns.
customers. You stick around. I'll get you some more drinks. Like I said, feel free to ask anybody. If I see any of his crew come in, I'll point them out, and you know, hopefully we'll get you to Baldur's Gate.
I know she's hard to hear, but my friend here, the one that's right here, she's like 3.5 feet tall. She said something.
I like your horns.
No, thanks. I like your horns too. They're so cute.
Thanks. Another ale, please.
Oh yes, come
This
right
one's done.
Slides another ale.
Do they sell food here, or is it like just a drinking?
Let's see this place.
Because whatever type of meat they have, Rex is going to order some.
They would have bread.
Oh, that breaks his heart. His scaly, scaly heart. Never mind.
Just
Red.
drinks and bread.
Nope.
Varo
Too many
wants
carbs. Too many carbs for Graxus.
Oh,
empty
Varo wants
carbs.
some bread.
Yep.
All right, she brings over.
Varo
It's
lives off
not.
of
It's
carbs.
clearly not a fresh loaf. Like this has probably been baked several days, and it's kind of hard. But you know what? It ain't bad.
There you go.
He's just dipping it in the
Dip-
ale to
I
soften
was
it
gonna
up.
say, dip your solid,
This is not Varo's first day at the rodeo.
dipping your solid bread into your liquid bread. Nice.
Full meal.
So, all right. Greg's is gonna go and take a seat. He's just gonna sit and watch.
All right.
Sorry, did you say there were other people in this place, or it's...
There's like a handful of other people.
Oh, I thought we were the only ones in there.
No. There's like a table of like 3 halflings sitting together. There's like a couple of humans at another table, and then there's like one like just salty looking old man sitting at the other end of the bar.
It's my dad. Yeah, Grex is gonna still take a seat because everybody else is so small, and he's gonna have a hard time moving around in that place being so tall. So,
She'll join.
All right.
Let's plop down.
So you guys take a seat and just have some drinks, and like about an hour goes by. Some people leave, some people come in, and did you guys stayed the whole time? You didn't do anything.
I gotta check the fire. I just realized I haven't checked in a while, so give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I hope it's not out. Sorry. Shit.
Did he just fuck up the cameras?
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Yeah. So after
Forgot it's Post-its now. You gotta use Post-it, or you get one of these cool little things so
Post-it
you can do
notes.
that and just black out your camera. You're supposed to have one of those on your laptop now anyways.
I'm Elsa now.
So
Ooh.
I'm Rex.
Oh no, do not put me in the Dungeon
Pat's the
Master
Dungeon
seat.
Master.
No. Nope. Sorry guys.
And go. So, it's gotten a little busier. So it's probably a little afternoon at this point. It's like just past noon, and it's a little busier now. A few more people, and you guys are. It's like the door is behind you. You're sitting at the bar, and it just it's like C-shaped. You know what I mean? Like in the middle of the place, and then there's tables off to the side. There's a window in the front where the door is, and then there's no windows towards the back. So all the light is just coming in through the windows and the door when it opens and closes. And as you guys are sitting there, there's like you notice like kind of like a shadow kind of blocking the light behind from hitting you, and you hear a feminine voice say, "I hear you are looking for Captain Hassin."
Yeah. Are you his sister?
I am. My name is Kamina Jakahid. And you turn around and you see a
George is an
a
asshole. He said your name wrong.
a tall, dark-skinned woman. She's muscularly built, but she has soft features and actually a very welcoming looking face. She's got hazel eyes, and her hair is like buzzed really short, and like what hair she does have is like dyed blonde. And contrary to what you see most sailors wearing, especially here, like they're usually wearing fairly drab colors. She actually wears like very brightly bold like color schemes. Like she's dressed for the winter because I mean it's because it is cold, but like the patterns on her attire are like black, yellow, and red, and very interesting patterns that you just don't see here in Waterdeep. Yeah, and she's like, "I am Kamina Jahakin." I wrote this name and I have to Jakanid. Chakandi. That's what I wanted. Kamina Jakandi.
The look on Izzy's face.
I'm trying to say very difficult to say name.
Hey, I couldn't do it, so.
I am first mate aboard the vessel you have been asking for. What is it you seek?
It's not Bald Guy's Gate. Baldur's Gate. Can you help
seek
us?
passage to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
We do.
Yep.
I love your
All
outfit,
of
by
us.
the way. You're beautiful.
Thank you. You are very interesting as well.
Thank you.
You are in luck. We do have business in Baldur's Gate and leave tomorrow. But it is not a direct route. We have cargo that we must first drop off at the got the name of the fucking place. We have cargo that we must drop off on the Moonshay Islands. From there we head to Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
Shay.
never been there.
I have no idea where that is.
Do you know how long this trip will take? Roughly?
Barring any problems in weather, could be 15 to 20-day journey.
Hmm.
Better than waiting it out for the whole winter, right, guys?
Better than
Yeah.
trying to walk the whole way.
In the snow, yeah. That could be even more time than that. Plus, the
Snow
road's not
It's
very
really
safe.
high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd
Poor
probably
Varo.
have to. What?
I was gonna say, poor Varo would probably wear out his new sandals
Mm,
if we had to walk all that way.
yeah, that would happen.
Yeah,
We'd
I,
probably
I
have to
only
go with a
got
caravan.
I only have the sandals for the winter. I'm just waiting for the good weather again so I can go barefoot again.
Gotta keep those toes warm.
And what skills do you have? Would you be useful aboard ship?
Grex is just gonna stand up
He's
to
big.
accentuate his giant height, and he's just gonna kind of like look. How tall is she? I'm assuming not as tall as him.
No, she's tall. She's like 6'3".
Okay, so he's just gonna he'll stand up and say, I can move anything that you need. I'm strong.
Indeed.
Hmm.
She looks at all of you. She goes, I believe I can make something work.
We can
She-
fight
This one
too.
feel like I was gonna say like she's funny, like she's funny pointing at the mini tour. She's smart pointing at Uma, and he can punch holes through anything. He's gonna point over at Varo.
She goes, 160 gold. 2 gold pieces a day per head for a journey of 20 days.
Oh, total?
Yes.
What if it goes over the
It-
20 days? Are we gonna have a contract where this is the amount that is charged, and if we hit like 21 days, we have already paid for our journey? Because that is really not any fault of ours if the journey goes beyond the 20 that you have just stated. And so I'm just confirming that we have paid our total amount, and should this extend past the 20 days that you just stated, we will not be liable for paying any extra.
Little one, you are very amusing.
Or kicked off in the middle of the water.
2 gold
Yeah,
per head per day.
how about half up front and half when we arrive, just in case you have to, make a decision to leave us behind for some reason. At least you didn't run away with all our money. It'll, soothe our conscience.
Roll a persuasion.
Like, what's the staffing situation on the boat? Because we have 4. Oh, these 2. Oh,
We're paying full price for these tickets.
Damn it.
Does anyone want to chime in? Because she's just kind of
Anyone-
looking at you like,
anyone
I was gonna
wanna
say,
help?
Does
Anyone
I was
he
gonna
get
say, I
wanna
think-
give me advantage?
I was gonna say, I think
Because-
Uma's little
Uma made
tirade,
her
not tirade,
laugh.
but yeah, and her whole thing about bringing all of her very good points.
all right, yeah, go ahead, roll again. Roll with advantage.
She buttered her up without realizing it. Mm.
10?
Better than a
Maybe
2.
she's mildly amused by it.
She looks at you inquisitively and then smiles. And she's got a very warm smile and she goes, I believe that is fair. I will go make preparations and speak to my brother. Meet me at Pier 94 tomorrow, 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Will do.
Very well, we have an accord. And she kind of bows down. to each of four of you, and she
Do I
and she
call
walks
you
out.
first mate Kamina? Or do I call you first mate Jakandi?
You may call me Kamina.
Kamina,
Do we have
thank you.
do we have to salute you and the captain?
No,
Okay.
you are not part of crew. Part of the crew.
Okay.
Crew, part of the ship.
That's probably for the
Part of
best.
the- part of the ship. Part of
I shall see you in the morning.
You fear death. I-
Farewell!
So she walks out, and you guys have the rest of the day.
I'm hungry for more than beer bread.
Same. I
Do
want
you wanna-
meat.
We should probably also hit a store, like you said, Gary. I've never been on the ocean, but I couldn't see there just being like stores out there. I mean, how like it'd be so hard to get supplies.
Mm. Do you want to get like really good food, or do you want dock food? Because we could go up to the castle ward or to the sea ward. There's a trades ward as well, where we're close by that one. The food's not as great there, but it gets better when you get to castle and sea. But
Anything with meat.
the supplies get more expensive too. So maybe we buy supplies and treat ourselves to a fancy food.
Like
Sounds
that.
good.
Let's go to the market.
All right, what supplies are you guys looking for?
I love the thought of just the four of us skipping through like town. Just da da da, do do do.
It's a
Um,
shopping montage.
Do 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 do.
Alright, I need.
Let's see.
No idea what Varo has left in his inventory.
Obviously, potion, like any kind of potions of healing, basic
Yeah, I only
potions
have
and
one.
stuff like that. I've got two.
Yeah.
But the only reason I have two is because I didn't do any of the fighting in that last, like, big. I was off floating through space somewhere. So yes, though something like that, I'm assuming, do we have to worry
How
about
many-
food?
How many potions of healing do you want?
Uh,
How many can we find?
You're shopping. You're doing the shopping in the dock ward, right?
No. Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be
Or
a
the
little
trades
little
ward.
cheaper here.
Okay.
So I mean, you can find them. Someone roll a d4.
two.
So you can find them for $50 a piece. You've come across a couple of shops that have them $50 for 50 gold each.
How many do we find?
That's just whatchamacallit. That is just the
Common,
regular. Yeah. Let's see. How many do you find? Let me roll. Four of them.
Okay. I'm gonna buy one.
Yeah. Graxus will also buy one.
Varo will take one.
Yeah, why not? We'll buy him out.
All right.
Sorry, you said how much? 40?
50.
Oh, 50. Okay.
And there's the greater, superior, supreme, but obviously it goes up in price.
How much are the graders, and do we find any of those?
You find two graders, and they are. Someone else roll a d4.
2.
Those are 100 gold as well.
Who wants it?
Varo
And
will
I-
take 1.
I mean, if nobody else wants it, Graxus will buy it just so the group has it.
Okay.
I mean, he has a bunch of healing spells and stuff, but it makes no sense not to have something that
You
we might
spent
need.
like triple the amount that your sea voyage cost.
What about any potions of like strength or resistance or climbing or
Water breathing, something
oh,
like
that's a good
that.
one. Yep,
Yeah, I
that's
was
a good
just
one.
looking over my spells real quick to see what I have water breathing. I would just have to prepare it. I have
Potions
water
of
walk.
water.
So I'm good on that. But I think how many 3rd level spell slots do I get? Oh, I get 3 of those. So yeah, if we want to get like another water breathing or something for the water.
So you come to this a potion shop, and they have 7 potions of water breathing.
Damn.
They are and he does not let you haggle. They are 190 gold pieces of each.
How long do they last, sir?
How long do they last? Let me find out.
Garry, can you cast that spell?
I'm looking right now, actually.
Why is the internet slow right now? He mumbles to himself as he's looking at the label. Breathe underwater
guy's-
for 1 hour.
this
1
guy's
hour is how long
crazy.
they last.
1 hour? Okay. I'll buy one.
I'll
One
take
ninety.
1.
Oh, don't even bother with water breathing.
Just in
No,
case.
No, don't listen to her. All sales are final.
I was gonna say, I think if it has the R for ritual, does that mean that if I cast it as ritual?
It
Doesn't use a
just
spell
Like,
slot.
it typically like
it-
takes like
but
10
it-
minutes. I
Yeah,
think.
it adds 10 minutes to the casting time.
Right.
Okay. Well,
So it's like you can't do it in combat, but if you know you need to breathe underwater to go do something, then you could do the ritual and
nice.
when you have the time.
And how long
Yeah,
does yours
the-
last?
The regular one, I can do it up to 10 willing creatures that I can see within a 30-foot range. And it lasts for 24 hours.
Oh shit. Yeah.
For water breathing, you said?
Uh-huh.
It's a little gnome that runs this shop, and I'm assuming you're not buying these potions now.
I'm buying. I bought mine.
Oh, you bought yours. Did Varo put it back?
I also have
Varo already bought his.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I also have
I was
for
gonna have you like, you goddamn magic casters costing me money.
I also have I can pick up as a spell water walk. So ability to move across the water, any liquid surface as if it was just regular ground. Up to 10 willing creatures, and it lasts for an hour.
I've got that one too, so
All right, so we're covered both ways.
yep.
Nice. I was gonna say, like, I have like control water and create and destroy water, like, innately.
You're a storm cleric.
Yeah, but that, unfortunately, in an ocean, that's not really gonna do all that much. Like,
What are you
I
talking
can't.
about? You didn't watch
Like-
campaign 2 of Critical Role? You
I'm
didn't
saying, like,
see what Talison's cleric did? Man had to rip the sheet because he divine interventioned and the entire encounter ended. You don't
that's
like. You
that's
don't know. You got power,
that's
son.
that's
You're
right
in the
over my head.
ocean.
Right over my
What
head.
is the ocean ruled by?
No, I know,
The
I understand,
storm
but
gods. This is
yeah,
your
but-
element, kid.
control. I was saying specifically create or destroy water. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't really.
Mm.
Because it's only 100, I think 100 gallons.
And
Does
it's
it
fresh
does
water.
it upcast? Cast it at 9th level.
Just the whole ocean just dries up.
It's a desert.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Garaxes would definitely feel more at home that way. But
That's a great plot hook for a D&D villain. We're gonna destroy all the oceans with destroy water at 9th level.
it's
It's
that
just going around all over the place.
basically Tatooine from fucking Knights of the Old Republic. Cuba gets that reference.
Yep.
He starts with ponds and upgrades to lagoons, and before you know it, he tries to take an ocean out, and the party has to stop him.
Was there anything else you guys were looking to buy?
Do we have to
Wait.
worry about
shops.
food and drink on the ship?
Winter
No,
clothes.
I mean you're paying for your passage, so like
Okay.
presumably part of the cost that you're paying them is to bring on extra provisions for the extra
Okay.
mouths.
Varo would like to get a few darts, about 16.
Yards. Let's see. Let me find how much dart costs. It is not even on here.
I feel like I should pick up a hobby since we're gonna be on a boat.
Didn't even think of that.
I don't know what I want to learn.
Yeah. I've got
Alright.
my tinker's tools, so I'll just probably be putzing around.
Darts are 5 copper pieces each.
So what's
16 of
that?
them.
65 copper. So what's that? 65 copper, I think.
It's 80 copper for 16 darts.
You should learn how to play and teach yourself how to play an instrument, Uma.
Yeah, because I got my smith's tools, but that's not really
Might
feasible.
not be helpful on a boat.
Garry says you should learn how to play an instrument. This merchant just sticks a flute in front of your face. He goes, "It's handcrafted."
No, I'm not a flute player, I think.
Do you have any horns or tubas?
Horns, I
Just
got a
imagine-
horn.
I just imagine Uma just playing this huge like. Brah, brah.
He pulls out this horn. He's like, 3 gold.
That doesn't speak to me.
Yeah.
Anyone know where I could get some potter supply?
Oh yeah, I bet there's in the trades ward.
Oh yes. That's
Some
old
what?
man who's too close to you going, it's in the trades ward.
Thanks, buddy.
What was it?
Potter's supplies?
He smells so strange.
I think that's poop.
It is.
I pooped them. I pooped my pants.
I have 1 pair of pants. No one buys my goods.
Oh, sir. Please step away.
He
Smells.
walks
Smells
away with his saggy draw. He goes, I'm not even a merchant.
Don't even work here.
And anybody know where I might be able to get a whip?
Get a
I
what?
was gonna get a what?
A whip.
A whip?
A whip. You want
A whip?
You want potter's tools and a whip.
A whip.
Varo's gonna let the kinks out on the ship.
A
He's
whip.
gonna make some pottery and then use the whip to crack it and smash them all. Like
Potter's
lovingly
tools
making them.
you can find for 10 gold, and you can
Take
find
it.
a whip for 2 gold.
Take them both.
All right.
to say hello.
No, she's making noises like a little dragon. Half dragon. Yeah, she sounded like a velociraptor. She was...
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe I'll just
trying to get
learn.
her on.
Oh no, it's fine. Maybe I'll just learn some ship stuff.
Maybe some bongos.
I feel like, what was her name? Camila?
Mina.
Nina.
Kamina. She might throw me over if I get an instrument and start trying to learn. Like, if I was good at it.
She's big, but she was friendly. She didn't give off like overly intimidating vibes. Although you get the impression you don't want to really fight her.
Yeah, I mean, if I was good at playing the instrument, that'd be one thing, but learning it, she doesn't throw me over, someone else will.
I won't let them.
I'll bring a book. I'll go buy a book. It's been a while.
Get some smut. Actually, it's
You
gonna
have
be
to
like
go to,
it's gonna be like how to efficiently staff and run your business.
smut book.
I
What kind
don't
of
think
book?
I need to shop anymore. But I'll
any
go
book.
look for books with you.
All right.
You'd go to like one of the better wards, one of the better
Yeah, I'm
parts
gonna
of
go
town.
to the C ward. I know there's bookstores up there.
What type of book are you looking for, my dear?
I don't know. What do you recommend? How about a book about cults? I just want to read about cults.
A book of cults. He rummages through the bookshelves and goes, let's see. Book of cults. Any cults in particular?
No,
All
just
cults? Any cults?
a history and like how they form, and any kind of how to talk to people who are in the cults and maybe deprogram them from being in cults.
Rax is gonna lean forward over her shoulder and just be like, "Ask about the ones that wear purple." I don't know if you can actually hear me or not.
Do you know about any cults that are called cults of the dragon? Or
I am just a simple bookkeep. I don't.
he doesn't read his own
that
books,
subject.
Gary.
What is with these people of this city?
This one's a richer part of the city. They don't have to prove anything to anybody. They just make money.
It's not a book.
Also very rude to whisper in front of someone in such a manner.
It's more of a book haver.
Yeah,
A bookkeeper.
it's
And I
true.
am standing right here.
So how much for this one?
He squints at you angrily. He goes, 5 gold.
That's a steal. Here you go.
Gives you the book. Takes the gold. Should have said 10.
Enjoy your riches. You can't take it with you when you die, she says as she leaves.
And Elsa stays back for a half a
Awkwardly.
second.
You
Do you have any graphic scrolls? I'm not so good with reading words, but I like to look at the pictures.
There you go. And he pulls this thick scroll out, and it's he says 5 silver, and it says Amazing Fantasy issue 1 through 50 on it.
Nice.
That looks like a big number. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
I don't care what my friend said. You're good at keeping your books.
Think about it.
You're a
I
bookmaster. Better than
I am.
George.
I don't know George, but what a
Yeah.
poor sounding name.
He's a harbor master who's actually only a harbor proficient because he didn't even know about ships, but you know all about your books.
Yes, that sounds like that ilk. Oh,
Well,
thank you. Good day.
have a good one. Guys,
Yeah.
look! I got this giant graphic scroll. It's the Fantasy Adventures volumes 1 through 50.
That's a lot.
Damn,
That's
you did
amazing.
read it. You read it, Elsa. He's like impressed.
He said it first, so I know what it said.
Just be
Guys,
careful
just
you don't
like-
get it wet.
Your
Yeah,
book
it-
is your book is a very very thick leather bound book, and it just says cults of the Sword Coast and beyond.
And,
And
30
beyond. That's not the same thing. And beyond.
All right,
That was
this
so
will keep
creepy.
me
I
busy.
didn't hear you. I didn't hear you, but I saw you coming up behind me on the camera. That was creepy as all hell. That was like something out of a horror movie. Do you want to
Alright,
say bye?
so
You
if
wanna
you're
say-
all shopped out, then you guys
Hi,
go and
baby.
you have
She's
a
gonna say hi. She's gonna. The baby's gonna say hi. Oh,
Hi,
oh,
Say
baby.
hi.
baby's like bright lights,
Look.
bright lights.
Look, they're waving. Look, see, they wave. She's still confused.
Hi.
See? Look.
Bright
Oh,
lights.
I know. She just woke up. Nope, don't hit the. Oh God, she hit buttons. All right, go back to sleep. She just hit a whole bunch of buttons. Yeah, I will.
Alright, so you guys you do your shopping, and then you go and you have yourselves a really really good dinner at a restaurant that just serves exquisite food and ale, because it could potentially be the last good warm food you're gonna have for quite a while.
Rex is gonna eat
you-
100 pounds of meat.
He
He's-
eats a full steer to
Yeah.
much to
Well, no, not a
Elsa's
steer because he
dismay.
doesn't. I was gonna say he doesn't want to make Elsa feel uncomfortable, so it'll be like a horse or something, something that doesn't have horns.
How much does it cost us? What kind of meal did we have? Like, how expensive?
Let's see. Say you went balls out, so it's we'll say this was like 20 gold meal.
Total?
Yes.
Okay. So 5 gold.
Hey,
each.
that's you think that's a lot.
No,
you
I know. That's
if
why I'm
you
saying 20 gold.
translate it to
Not each. So 5 gold each.
yeah. It's several courses, several drinks, warm cooked food by a professional chef, good atmosphere. There's like bands playing for ambiance, and
That's
you know
that's my ambiance. Sorry, I'll mute it.
so it's it's a good night, a good night, good meal. Everyone's full and happy. You find an inn, a cheap inn that just charges like I'd say like 10 silver for all of you for just one night. And you wake up full and you grab all your stuff. You head over to Pier 94 as you were instructed, pretty much first thing in the morning, so 8 o'clock in the morning. And you get there and you actually find that this is one of the piers that you walked by. You walked by this ship, the name isn't written on it, so you didn't know that it was the ship you were looking for. But there you see Kamina. She waves you over in her direction, and behind her, sitting at the pier, is you see the ship. She is a large, square-rigged vessel. She is about 25 feet wide, 106 feet long, and she displaces 236 tons of water. She has 4 masts and a total of 6 sails. For those of us here,
I feel like that's all stuff that in a different campaign Arik would have said. Like, he would have said all that to Micaiah. Like, yeah, this is blah, 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 displaces this much weight.
So, those of us here in New England, picture the Mayflower, that type of merchant vessel. Like, it's big, but it's not really big. Even you think about it, type of deal. But it's not.
Four masts is pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like a war galley or something like that. And she, you see you guys approach, and she goes, very good, punctual. I like that. Hasien, these are the ones I told you about. And behind her is he is here. Oh, and he turns around, and Captain Hasien Jakandi. He is taller than his sister. He's a very tall, just as muscular, equally dark skinned. They're very dark skinned. He's got a very square, stern face, where she is got soft, welcoming features. He's got, he's very kind of chiseled. He's got those big Barack Obama ears. It's like that. He's a smart motherfucker.
He hears everything on deck.
Malcolm ears. Owen ears.
And one of the striking features on his face is that he has a obviously glass eye. That glass eye is green, and his natural eye is a deep brown. He has a short, very thick, well-kept beard, and then his hair is thick black hair in thick braids that come down to his shoulder area. And just like his sister, he also dressed warmly, but just the same very vibrant colors. And he goes, and he walks over, stands next to her, and he goes, an interesting looking group. Yes, they are they not? I did not get your names yesterday.
Oh, hi, Kamina. It's me again, and my name is Elsa.
Elsa, hello.
I'm Uma.
Uma.
Go ahead, Varo.
Oh hey, I'm Varo.
Greetings, Varo.
And Garaxus Cyanrath.
Galraxus, Cyanra.
And together, we are...
Wicked.
Who's in
Pendant.
Prestige? He just spirit fingers.
Incorporated.
Pew 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 with little sparklers on the fingertips.
Brother and sister both look at each other, and then
Little bursts of fog
Cassian.
cloud. Poof, poof.
Little
We
burst of
forgot to
what?
get our cards.
Fog
Damn.
cloud.
Fog. Oh, now it's like lightning clouds now. You throw the clouds and all through 'em.
Can anyone that knows magic, can any of you do lasers behind the fog? We can really start to get this into a thing.
I can call lightning.
I can do fairy
Is that-
fire.
Is that too much?
Oh, fairy fire's
that
nice.
feels a little too strong to call lightning, Gary. But we can put that, on
We can
for
workshop
big
this.
events. Yes, for
Yeah.
big events, maybe we can
Yeah.
figure out how to work that in.
Yeah, we'll workshop this later, not in front of the captain and his first
Mhm.
mate.
This is
yes, that was very
it's kind of private,
awkward.
For you, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Amina. These might be the most interesting passengers we have taken on. My name is Captain Hassin Jakande. You have met my sister Kamina. She has told you our itinerary. We are heading to Baldur's Gate by way of the Shay Islands first. This is acceptable and agreeable.
It
Yeah,
is.
I have no idea where that is.
It is due west of here.
Cool.
Sure, pardon
Very
my
well.
name.
Mm.
Are the Shay Islands dangerous?
Yes, quite. If you are not, if you do not, if you're not cautious in your sailing, there are many dangers heading that way. But cargo flows between here and there on a regular basis. But you will find no other ships heading to Baldur's Gate. This will be our last run of the winter. We will either take berth in Baldur's Gate or find work there and head further south. You will obey the commands of the captain, myself, and any other officer aboard this vessel. You will help if asked and pull your own weight. This is not a luxury liner. You will be sleeping on the gun deck with the rest of the enlisted crew. You will have a hammock to sleep on, but do not expect creature comforts.
Never.
Is agreeable.
Very good. Then I welcome you aboard the Nyota Rossi. And he just points to the ship and he goes, "Come, you may meet the officers before we depart." And he walks up the it's called the gangplank, right? Get on the ship. He walks up the gangplank and with his sister behind him, you guys grab all your gear and you follow up onto the deck. And it's a bustle of activity. You see some people bringing on last bit of cargo. You see others just kind of preparing the ship to go. It's a good mix of people. I would definitely say slightly more humans than other races, but there is a good amount of mixed races aboard this ship. And as soon as the captain, the first mate, and you guys board, a loud, shrill voice says, "Captain on board!" And you turn around and notice this loud shriek, which I'm not going to do because the microphone will not pick it up, coming from this tabaxi. And then like all the crew members who are running about, like, kind of all stop and like stand at
Solid
attention.
voice, girl.
And the captain goes, "Thank you, sweet boot. These are our passengers: Goraxus Cyanrath, Elsa Moon, Uma, and Varo. They will be sleeping on the gun deck. My new friends, I will present to you my officers. You know my sister, first mate Kamina." He points to the cat, to the tabaxi behind you. "This is my second mate, Sweet Boot. Here is my quartermaster, Linz Elta." And the quartermaster is a Varo, you might find this interesting, is a very interesting elf. One that you have never seen before. She is about like 6'2", very, very slender build, arms that like are visibly like a little longer than normal proportions would be. She is has turquoise colored skin with like completely white eyes. Her hair is like a deep green, like the color of like very deep seaweed, and she has visible gills on her neck. And you notice she's not wearing any footwear, and her hands and feet are webbed. And she just kind of nods over to you. And then he goes,
Did you just describe old Greg? That's what it sounded like.
A female old Greg.
It really did. It's out there. What you doing in my
Well,
waters?
you know, I didn't have a voice ready for her, but I think it might have to be an old Greg voice now.
Yes.
Because I
Old
didn't even have old
Greg.
Greg in my head
No.
when I came up with her.
I like how you described it very beautiful, but like over the trip, it's just gonna become old Greg.
Right, exactly. In my head,
Yeah,
I was like,
no
oh, like no,
footwear, but white
she is
boots.
this beautiful. You've never seen something like this before because her people are very rare, and you'll find more about this. But now it's just old Greg, and you're just gonna drink Bailey's with her.
What about the boat times? Those were nice.
And he goes, this is my surgeon, Holiday Ward, and Ward is let's see, he is a he's a slightly older dude, and he's got long wavy brown hair, blue eyes. He's like kind of got like rugged, dry skin. He's pretty pale. I think being on a boat, you get more sun. He stands about a 5 feet average build. He's got sharp features and like a neck beard. And he just kind of grunts at you guys. He's like,
This is me.
I'm going to kill myself, Smee. I'm going to do it, Smee. Don't stop me, Smee. Stop me, Smee. Oh, God. Are we going to Neverland? Like, what is going on? Like, yeah, this is going to be great.
This is gonna be fun.
Pretty
Up here we
sure
have.
we're in the Forgotten Realms. We're already in Neverland.
True. True.
Yep.
Can somebody
Yeah,
come
we
up with a...
have my master gunner, white powder, and you just see this. I think Garry actually has to look up at this point. This fucking behemoth of a Goliath. He is dark white with like ice blue eyes, completely bald. He's got like tattoos that most Goliaths have in like black ink, very like jagged, angular markings. And the dude is just gigantic. He is 7 feet 6 inches, and he's just covered in animal furs, except for his arms. His arms are bare, so you can just see his fucking gigantic guns. And he just
Nice.
goes, "Well, look at these ones."
Graxus, as a fellow big man, is just gonna, like, nod.
Over here we have our Koopa, Borelli, Plate Feet, and there stands a mountain dwarf. She has light brown skin. She's got deep set hazel eyes. She's got a medium length red hair with a little bit of gray in it, and it's tied in a ponytail that's like goes down to her butt. And she's like every other dwarf. She's short, very stout, and keep losing my page. Cook, Landon Greatgrass. Sorry.
This is great gas. Grax is gonna chuckle. He's gonna, like, snort through his nose, through his snout.
He's got like the chef's hat on and like a white chef's apron, and he's a little halfling, a little round, plump halfling, super light skin, brown eyes, obviously very short with wavy brown hair, and he's like, "Oh, I love cooking for new people." And then he goes, "And behind you is Yip Yak." And you turn around and you see this surly little kobold pop out of a bucket, and he just kind of growls at you, and he goes, "He is our bosun. That is my officers. You will, I'm sure, will get to know the rest of the enlisted crew. If you have any concerns, bring it to me or any of my officers, and we will take care of it and address them. Now, please, bring your stuff down below, make yourselves comfortable. We now set sail." And he goes, "We depart!" And the lines are cut, the the rigging is set. The ship it heads out of Waterdeep Harbor, and you got a strong wind to your back as we head out into the open ocean on the way to the Moon Shay Islands.
Right.
Cool. That was fun. I like, oh, Yip Yak. I like all the different names. That was fun.
Yeah, he's just like like the little dude in Ace Ventura who's on top of the big dude.
Yeah. Well, you said he was in a bucket, so I just imagine him as like Oscar the Grouch. You know what I mean? Like
He
he's
doesn't
just
look
gonna.
in a bucket.
Well,
He was like cleaning and just like, yo,
he's
just happy
in
to
a
pop out of the bucket.
There's no fucking buckets. All right.
Buckets and buckets of kobolds.
That would be
somebody has to
cute.
come up with a. We gotta come up with a stat block for old Greg now. We need it.
Stat block for who?
Old Greg.
Oh, sure I can
I'm
find
gonna-
one.
I'm gonna run our giveaway beautiful bean footage.
All right.
And then we will do our giveaway. You do have
Let's do
another couple of seconds to enter exclamation point ticket if you have interest in winning some BD&D on our merchandise. Okay.
I wish we could,
So
because their stuff is so damn good.
you can. I'm kind of counting
Oh.
myself out, but the rest of you all can do it.
Okay. Nice. Only
I gave
because
away my last win.
Yeah, I figured that we could do something like that.
I haven't heard
I
from
won't
him,
keep-
by the way.
I won't keep it.
All right. I'll just remind him whenever I see him next. Okay. So we are going to close the giveaway. And I actually like how this thing works. It kind of shows up on the stream and there's a picture and everything. All right. So I'm going to close the giveaway. Can I figure out how to do that though?
I totally concur with you about how cool that is that it's on the stream and shows like how many entrants and how long
Yeah.
you've been running.
And if we were to have like a ton of people enter, it tells you like the percentage chance of winning and stuff. All right, so I'm going to close this and we are going to draw a winner and it will show up in chat. So, how we go? Shadows Fairy,
Fairy.
a new
Nice.
winner.
Hey, a new
Hey.
one.
Awesome.
They had a
Yay.
20% chance of winning.
A 20%
Nice.
chance to win. I don't know if they're still there, but I will be messaging Shadows Fairy.
No,
Let me
that's
just make
cool.
sure.
It's always fun when it's new people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it.
awesome.
Oh, I've got
Win
notes.
again. Be the Mug Club.
Do it up.
So, yes, so I will message Shadows Fairy and let them know that they've won, and they get to choose an item. I've got notes from like all the different campaigns I've got going on here, so and we will be back. So on Saturday, typically the compound would be doing some kind of like Marvel Crisis Protocol or something, but they're still figuring out if they're going to stream live from Captain Con. So
I hope they do.
yeah, it would be really fun. It's kind of dependent on how do I spell this person's name? Dependent on the like legal kind of stuff with insurance and making sure that there's hookups and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see what happens. But if you want to come join us at Captain Con, please do. You can still use the Nat30s code to get 10% off your badge. So please do that. And then my fingers are crossed. We're getting another storm on Friday, but I really hope that we will be able to play on Sunday. We got heat, and I want to see if the heat works. I think it's gonna work, but
18,000
I mean-
BTUs. It fucking better work.
How?
It's snowing Friday this week as opposed to Saturday. So that
Saturday, yeah.
gives them all day Saturday to salt, sand, do all that good stuff, and it
Yeah.
also gives us a day to, like heal up a little bit
Right.
after
Help our
breaking
parents.
our back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our street is still marginally unplowed. Like,
Yes,
so
it's
don't have
stupid.
high hopes for Saturday. This
Yeah.
town apparently doesn't know how to
I,
buy
I,
salt.
I think you're driving this week, Adam, because we will get stuck in my car.
Little
Yeah,
hash-
Yin Yang. I hope you have no more storms where you are too. I don't know if you've had a bunch in Sweden, but
yeah.
I
How much?
don't know.
How much snow are we supposed to get this next
It's
snow?
supposed to be
Any
icy, I
predictions?
Get
think.
something
It's
in the
supposed
air.
to be ice,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's supposed
like an
to
ice
rain
storm.
on Thursday, so it's
Oh,
just
boy,
gonna
yeah.
be a wet, nasty mess
Ice
on
on top
Friday.
of ice. That ain't no
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's gonna suck.
So-
So,
I'd rather
we gotta
deal with
get the
snowpack than ice.
yeah.
yeah, we gotta get the sands and salt ready for this one. This
Yeah.
isn't gonna be shoveling. This is gonna be
No.
breaking it up after the fact.
Yep.
No,
Well-
fine, but can I get Roy and Pat to say murder weapon real quick for me?
Murder weapon.
Murder
love it.
weapon. Murder
Yes.
weapon.
Murder weapon.
Murder weapon. What? Because
Why
of the
are we
A?
saying murder
it's
weapon?
a TikTok that she
Oh.
shared.
It's a TikTok.
Yeah, every other item was a murder weapon. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Boston,
yeah.
it was like, say
It was
these
like-
words.
You
It
guys
was
seen
like,
that one where like the southern guys like
yeah, it's
haters?
like pillow,
And he's like-
pillow,
Yeah.
pillow. It was like murder weapon.
Extension
I saw that
cord.
one.
Murder weapon.
Murder weapon.
You ever see the one
Bat
from
tricky.
Philly?
Never
You ever
heard
see
of
the one
one.
The one from Philly where it was say the following sentence. It was Aaron earned the iron urn. And it was like earn the earn. And he was like, wait, what? Wait, that's how we sound? It really like screwed the guy up. But yeah. It's so strange when you hear people like I don't even notice when somebody. There's so many people from Massachusetts that don't have the accent anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
it's
don't have
because
it, so
people make fun of me. People that I
We
work
have
with,
it.
they're like,
We
"Why do
just
you
don't
talk that
realize
way?"
it until we leave, and then
Yeah,
people,
people, like-
tell us that we have it.
People I work with from like the Taunton area, they're like, "Why do you say car?" And I'm like, "Cause I'm from Massachusetts, and that's the accent, I guess. I don't know. It's the way I've always said it." And like, it's even my 14-year-old's like, she's like, "Dad, say it. Say car. Say car." Like it actually hurts my throat right here to say car. You feel like a fucking pirate.
It's because we're on the internet now. It's not just like
Yeah.
locally talking
Mhm.
to each other. So people now like they learn to enunciate their ahs
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
wherever you
it's
call it.
non-regional diction.
Yeah.
I love it.
Take your murder weapon and throw it in the backseat of the car. Bury him in the backyard. That's what you gotta do.
So today we are going to raid Loot, Die, Repeat because I have not raided them before, and it looks like a lot
we're
of
gonna
fun.
raid the murder weapon.
I was gonna say now
Yeah,
I'm
I
thinking
mean,
because
right?
I just looked at the baby, and I was thinking like, oh, that's my, and then I was like, the way I would say it is Dada. So it's like Dodda,
My
daughter,
daughter.
my
Your
daughter,
daughter.
but it's like daughter, my daughter,
Your
What is
daughter.
my daughter? My baby daughter. You know,
I can't say heart. The,
Hot.
like
Hot.
it's your
correct.
hot.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hot. Like,
You go to the
you gotta-
doctor. Go to the.
yeah.
What you do is
Go
you
to
go
the
to the
hot
hospital
doctor.
and you go see a hot doctor. Exactly.
I don't remember if you were in my class in shop in high school when we had a project. It was like Valentine's Day or something like that, and it was like, "Oh, it's due tomorrow." I'm like, "What's due tomorrow? I don't even have my hot on yet." And everybody started laughing, and I'm like, "What? Why is everybody laughing?"
Yeah. Or what you can really tell when someone's putting it on is if they're like angry or talking fast or animated. Instead of saying fucking, you say like it comes up more fucking. You
Mm.
throw the H in there.
There's
You know what I mean?
There's an AW.
Yeah,
The
it's like
U
fuck.
turns into an AW.
Like these
Mhm.
fucking. You know what I mean? It
Fucking.
just. Yeah.
And then their voice it starts to get really fucking high out of nowhere.
Yeah, but not
Hey.
not like Mark Wahlberg though, because that's too high. He throws it on too much.
All right, we are
Hey,
raiding Loot, Die,
making money.
Repeats. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back on Saturday, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, on Sunday with the bums. Something's got to give. So, all right, we're gonna raid now. So have a good
Day,
Day, night,
for hanging out with
morning.
us.
Thanks for hanging.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks. Put away your murder weapons.